joint venture is, how it can really help the other businesses?
Well, to me, a joint venture is just several people or businesses working together, and how it helps a business is a lot of times business owners are struggling with how do I get more money out of the business? So it's really about leverage. It's about one person having something that isn't making him very much money if he doesn't use it in the right way, and other people can use that underutilized asset. So you and I specialize in helping people to identify how to pull more money out of a business by working with other people. You know, the average person thinks of the world as their competition. We say they're not your competitors, they're your potential business partners. Why not work together? And it's that ability to see that potential to really make something out of nothing that makes us work a lot, because we can see that. So learning to work with other businesses is where the money's at.
Okay, friends, Willie is known as the godfather of joint ventures, and I'm going to ask some very hard questions to Willie on video. Let's see how he responds. Okay. Willie, you get so many students, you train so many students around the world on how to do the joint venture successfully. When you meet them and talk to them, what are the top 3 objections they come from when you're talking to them as a student?
Well, the biggest objection is always confidence, you know, and confidence comes from doing something. So my training includes working with my students as they actually do what I teach them, just stepping them through the process, because I come from a military background where my instructors taught me, and then I did it under their guidance, and then once a year or so they checked on me to make sure I still wasn't messing it up. So I know that stepping somebody through the process builds confidence. The second objection is probably feeling that they're worth the money, and knowing that I add value to another business, or that my students do, means to me it's absolutely worth the money. We're making a business millions of dollars they wouldn't otherwise have. We're worth it. We're making them money out of nothing. So, and the third objection, I don't know.
How about the fear? Can I do it or not?
Yeah, I guess there's a fear, can I do it or not, and that just comes from doing it. Honestly, you don't know you can do it until you try. But, you know, it's just doing it.
Here is what I say. If you're not going to try it, I know guaranteed results, nothing will happen.
Right,
yeah?
right.
That's it.
And then when you do it and you do succeed, maybe you won't even succeed every time, but a certain percentage of times you will, and that's about choosing the right projects and things, the ones that have that common sense or intuition tell you are going to do well, and do your research, and you will succeed a number of times. And again, like you said, the average person won't even try, and so that puts us, you know, light years ahead.
How you face that when someone says, you know, here's another internet marketer, and you know, in friends in internet marketing, not everybody is legit.
Right.
And of course, without pointing any fingers to anyone, and because they never met you most of the time, how do you really come out of that kind of fear? Here's another internet scammer trying to sell me something. Even though in joint venture, we're not trying to sell anything to anyone.
No. I point out to them that there's no risk in dealing with me. It's a risk reversal. It's saying, you know, you pay me a percentage of the extra money I make you, so where's the risk? And then I also bring my experience. You know, I know what works in marketing, so you're getting that too. But it's also, what are your alternatives? You know, have you seen something that's better that you have more confidence in? It's no risk.
And you also know that in the internet marketing, people ask you whether Willie Crawford is. That's a question I get all the time. Are you a student of Willie Crawford?
Right.
That's a very number one question I get from people. Do you know Willie Crawford? What do you know about him? You know, all those kind of questions.
Right.
And I'm sure the similar question you get about
Yes,
me.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Here is how I answer it. I'm going to answer it in a video.
Okay.
You never asked me to answer it that way.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Here is how I answer it every time. It's all the same, word by word. They ask me, are you a student of Willie Crawford? Here's how my answer starts. It would have been my honor to be a student of Willie Crawford. However, we work together on many projects together. And in fact, I refer customers to him.
Right.
And Willie Crawford, I'm accepting it on camera. He does refer customers to me. We talk almost every other day, if not every day. And we check on different people from each other. Hey, what you experience with Mr. X?
Right.
It's all confidential. We can talk straight. So in a joint venture, there is no competition of any kind. In fact, there are more joint ventures. Everybody joint venture means they have all the little island of network. if you talk to more people, you're connecting to more islands, your network is more bigger, and you can make more money for everyone.
Right.
You can help your more customers. Would you say something on top of it?
Absolutely. I mean, like you said, we're not competitors. We aren't going after the same customers. We have more business than we could ever do, and so it's looking at a potential client, for example, and saying, is this right for me, or is Siddique's expertise more suitable? I don't take on projects that I don't feel like could over-deliver in. There's a lot of money to be made in joint venture brokering for the clients and for me, but there's no money to be made if I take on a project I can't handle, a project Siddique's better suited for than I am. So there's no competition. We work together.
In fact, here is the last thing. Once I met a client, I actually delivered their joint ventures in my network. I would rather refer to Willie Crawford so he can help him. His network is relatively different than mine. There are some common people always in any network, but we never really go across. We know that when we try to have the same customer try to bypass you and me, we know whether mentioning any name, we never let it happen.
Right.
Until they ask for a permission. Hey, you better ask for a permission from a client when you're working with. Until Willie tell me I can work with them, I'm not going to work. You have to work from your integrity.
And I'm the same way.
Because the relationship is the most important thing, and forget what the business you can make from that one transaction or not. That's not even worth looking, irrespective of the dollar amount.
Absolutely. You don't, I mean, if you become shifty and start mistreating people or going behind their back, making deals and things like that, the word's going to get back anyway, and your reputation's trashed, and it's going to spread too. The word spreads so fast on the internet. I mean, you can't hide something on the internet, so it's just be upfront with people.
Here is another proof. Willie Crawford has this beach party, and he invited me to come and meet my friends here.
Sure.
If that was quote-unquote competition, he would never let me even know that there's a party happening.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.